Hey everyone, this is Steven from Just Got Played, and today I'm going to do the 2023 year in review. So it is December 31st while I'm recording this. If you hear some noises in the background, that could be people letting off early fireworks today. I don't know. But if you're in the northern hemisphere, like I am, it's cold here. In fact, it's even cold in Florida, so I've got my trusty hot chocolate to keep me warm. But mostly what I want to talk about today is I'm going to show you just to peel back the curtain, right? Pull back the curtain, look at the statistics that we have from YouTube. You can see what a small channel like this, what the numbers look like for 2023. And then I guess when we're done there, maybe I'll talk about my favorite games that I played that were published in 2023. And I'll talk about some games that I would like to play that I haven't played in 2023. Well, they were published in 2023. I haven't played them. Hopefully I'll get to them in 2024. All right, so first, I don't know if you've ever seen it. YouTube has this analytics page. And so I've got the analytics here and I've got it set to the last 365 days. So you can see it's going from December 31st, 2022 to December 30th, 2023, because the stats won't update until tomorrow, but that's close enough, right? So yeah, again, you can look at what we've got here, right? So our views, 78,000 views, 4,200 hours of watch time. We gained 225 subscribers this year. Here's our estimated revenue, and we get revenue from a couple of places. We are a YouTube partner now, so we do get money from people, the ads that come before or after our videos. We don't do any mid-roll ads because those are sort of annoying, so I don't turn those on. Those other ads I don't have control over, so those are in there. We get a cut of revenue from those ads. We've gotten, super chat, and we had channel members for a little while. I tried to do something with that. I turned it off eventually, but so we got some revenue, a decent amount of revenue actually from compared to the other stuff from that. But also, if you're a YouTube Premium member or whatever they call that now, we actually get a small cut of that money as well when you watch one of our videos. So these are the impressions. This is the number of time YouTube put our thumbnails in front of you to see if you click on it. And this is the number of times, the percentage that people actually clicked on it. So for those 940,000 impressions, we had, the click-through rate. Click-through rate is sort of an important thing for a video. You can see we've got it for all our videos here. But yeah, let's just look at, what our top videos were for the year. So this isn't from this year. This is an older video. But it has been, there you go. See, it's from November 2021, but it's still going strong. Horrified versus Horrified American Monsters. Lloyd did a great video there comparing those. I wondered if it would drop off when the new Horrified Greek Monsters or whatever it's called came out. People might be looking for a three-way comparison or something like that, but it's still just going about the same as always. So a big chunk of the view hours on our channel are just from that one video. It just goes to show you never know. You just throw stuff against the wall. You never know what's going to stick. This sticks. We'll see here. And a couple videos down, another video that sticks for, I never would have predicted it. But you can see the impression click-through rate is pretty good on that one. And the estimated revenue here, all this revenue is that is ad revenue for that video. So next is a short that I did of my son and I. So playing Crokinole for the first time, and he had a really great shot. I mean, it's a short; it's 41 seconds long. Just go watch the video if you haven't seen it. I wasn't trying to capture a special moment, but I just randomly did because I had set up the camera when we were playing. So that's pretty cool. That resonates with people for some reason. We got a click-through rate here. I don't know how that works with shorts, the click-through rate, because you don't really click through in a short so much that you just watch them in your feed. So maybe that counts. I don't know. A lot of views, not as much time, obviously, because it's only 41 seconds long. So yeah, what was that? It was from September. From September, it's our second most watched video. So this Battleship one is old. It's even older than the Horrified one. Look at that, 2020, and it just keeps going strong. It just gets thousands of views every year. How to play Battleship. I don't know why I did this. I think Patrick had this idea once upon a time that we should put videos on Amazon that would introduce people to our channel. So I made a how to play video for Battleship, and wow, it does well. Okay, 80 something hours, 3,600 views. People just want to know how to play Battleship, and they even got $10 in ad revenue. Look at that. I tried to replicate this success. I made a how to play Uno video, which is excuse me, sort of funny because so many people play Uno wrong. But that one didn't do very well, whatever. So this next one is just, it's just something I took a few days off before Dice Tower convention started. And I wanted to spend some time with my wife before I disappeared into the convention. So I took her to the Wetlands Park and we walked around here in Orlando, and then just an alligator walked across our path while we were there. And I was like, I'm going to put this on the channel and loosely associate it with board game content by saying, here's something to do in Orlando before Dice Tower Con. Anyway, got a whole ton of views like the first day and then just dropped off a cliff. Shorts often do that. This one, not so much. It's just sort of steady, but shorts often, they have a big bump and then they just drop off. Whatever. You can see shorts are getting a lot of views. You can see 3 of the top 5 are shorts. So, I mean, that sort of makes sense. It's not really much of a time commitment to watch a short, and it just ends up in your feed. Supposedly, they're really good about giving you subscribers. You can see here, we got 6 subscribers from this video, 10 from this one, 8 from this next short. So, I don't know. I don't really care so much about our numbers. Like, I'm not chasing subscribers. I'm not chasing views. I'm not chasing hours. There was a period where I was trying to build up our hours so that we could become a YouTube partner. But I did that. And now I just, we just make content. I don't specifically try to tailor the content to drive views or anything. So anyway, this next one was the Hasbro selfie series. It was a fun app, the Hasbro app, and you take a picture of yourself and you can see yourself as different things, I did myself as the Pink Power Ranger, the Mandalorian or whatever. So I just went ahead and ordered it. I ordered that custom thing and made a video of it. And that's another one that just gets a steady trickle of views. Yeah, so there you go. Hasbro selfie series video. All right, Planet Unknown Hobby Edition retail version unboxing. This one gets a lot of views, and I think that's because there's a lot of confusion around this game. So when they were running the crowdfunding campaign for this game, they said they were going to make this dirt cheap retail version. It was all cardboard, didn't have the Lazy Susan, etc. And they didn't end up making that, right? So there was a question about, well, what is in the retail version, which they called the Hobby Edition? What is in the retail version versus what made it into the Kickstarter edition? So, I made a video. I was like, well, here you go. Here's what's in there. And again, this one has a really high click-through rate, right? People are looking for this video. Probably they're searching for this and they see it in the results and they click through on this one. Lloyd also made a good thumbnail, a really nice thumbnail. So thumbnails do make a big difference, by the way. All right, so next is the Ready, Set, Bet unboxing and app demo. And we're going to see this make a slight return here in a few seconds, but or a few down anyway. Again, another popular game. A lot of people don't know exactly what it is or how it plays. And so I did an app demo in there, right? Where I filmed myself doing the tablet instead of just like doing it in a browser and capturing it or whatever. While I was doing the unboxing, I filmed my tablet with my camera. So there's just a run through of a session, random session on the app. And I think that's probably what's driving a lot of views here. Although then again, it was also, a popular game a lot of people talked about. And then, Lloyd again made a nice thumbnail for that. So next is Gay Sauna, the board game. And so JJ reviewed this one. We're part of a Facebook group where independent publishers look for, small channels, et cetera, to sort of signal boost and cover their stuff. And so JJ expressed interest in doing this game, and we got a copy of it. And it's gotten a lot of views. And this one, I think, is because the publisher really likes JJ's video. And I think he gives a pretty good balanced view of whether you would like this game or not, right? Tells people, publishers don't want you to buy their game if you're going to hate it, right? They don't want you to buy a game you don't like and feel like you wasted your money and leave a bad review, et cetera, right? They want people to buy a game because they're going to like it. So they actually sort of help us in that regard, in that they point people to our video. When people have, questions or are interested in it, they're like, well, here's an independent reviewer. This is what they had to say about it. So, that's nice. I always we used to do a lot more independent content where we would make videos for independent publishers. And we don't do that we still do it, right? But we don't do it as much as we used to. And part of the reason why is we sort of try to take a balanced approach. Like, here's what you're going to like about the game. Here's what you're not going to like about the game. If you like this, you'll like it. If you don't like this, you don't like it. And for whatever reason, most small publishers, they're just looking for a video that says their game is the next best, the new thing that's the best game ever. And they will find somebody who will say that. somebody out there will think that, and that's great. And then the publisher will boost that video and they'll just ignore ours. So, I've made a lot of videos, and some of our videos, they land on Kickstarter pages, or they get, put out on social media by the publishers. So some publishers are great, but some of these independent publishers, like, they send us a game and we make a video and then they just sort of ignore it because, whatever, we didn't say enough nice things about it, I guess. So, that's their prerogative, but, it doesn't make me want to do a whole lot of independent reviews like that. It's sort of a two-way street. If we're going to spend our time making a, review for your game, I feel like you should help spread the word to people, but whatever. So next, Disney Villainous versus Marvel Villainous. How old is this one? All right, 2022, June. These versus videos, Lloyd made a lot of these versus videos. Well, not a lot, but he made the ones that do really well on the channel. People like these, right? They're like, okay, there's a couple of versions of this game. Which one should I get? And there you go. Lloyd's going to tell you. And he, Lloyd always did a good job making his videos. He hasn't been making as much content for the channel lately. Unfortunately, the channel probably be doing twice as well if he did. But, you're stuck with the rest of us instead. All right, so the Ready, Set, Bet app. So I just cut 1 minute of the app demo from the previously mentioned Ready, Set, Bet video out and put it out there as a short. I was like, all right. And it's apparently leaked 1337 right now. Look at that. Anyway, like all shorts, it had a big boost and then this one has had a long tail of a trickle of views. But yeah, there you go. I thought people would be interested in how does the app work for Ready, Set, Bet. And there you go. This is how the app works if you want to watch a minute of it. Next is the Tiny Epic Crimes review. All right, we got a couple of Tiny Epic things here. Well, so I always back the Tiny Epic games, always. Been very critical of Kickstarter, and in fact, I've mostly stopped backing anything on Kickstarter, but I will still back a Tiny Epic game when it comes out, and I back at a high enough level that I get an early copy, right? So we're getting copies like as early as reviewers and other people, like professional reviewers, are getting them, right? So we get these early copies. So our unboxings and reviews of these games, they come early and they get some views when they come early, and so they sort of maybe the YouTube algorithm sort of likes that there's already a video out there with views, so that when the game actually comes out and then a bunch more people come looking for it, ours gets recommended a decent amount. Our click-through rate isn't huge, but the views are pretty high. So there you go. G.I. Joe deck building game. All right, there you go. There's Lloyd again covering that one. A couple of these, right? So a lot of those are good for views. The G.I. Joe and what is it? Masters of the Universe did pretty well too. That JJ did, I think. So there's just IPs and really popular games that people are looking for content for. Our click-through rate's actually pretty good on it too. Look at this. Is another unboxing. So unboxings do pretty well. There was I don't know why this one did particularly well. It's a really long unboxing, like 36 minutes. There's a lot of stuff in here. There were some questions about what's different in the second edition, because there were some things that were different in the first edition that people were curious about. So maybe that's why there's a lot of views here. I'm sort of surprised this one, Alien Fate of the Nostromo versus Alien Another Glorious Day in the Core, right? But that's another versus video. So maybe these cool versus thumbnails help. But it's also, it's a subject people are looking for. So there you go. Here's the Tiny Epic unboxing to go along with our review. I actually do even an unboxing of the prototype, usually just so people can see what the components are. I have my own way of doing unboxings. Usually if I've got a game in front of me, it's because I've learned about the game, right? So I sort of know what the components are. I sort of know how it plays. And so I talk through that when I'm doing my unboxing. I'm like, well, this is what this component is. This is what it's for, etc. That's what I want to see in an unboxing video. I don't want to just see, here's the thing, I don't know what that is. Here's the thing, I don't know what that is, right? So I try to, give a little more information. Don't know if people really like that. We don't get a ton of views, but we do get some unboxing views. All right, so Alien, Tiny Epic Crimes, How to Play Arcana Rising by Gray Fox Games. So this video, I think, way back when it was first released, 2020, this one actually was being bumped by the publisher. And what I mean is I think they were putting like Facebook advertising or YouTube advertising dollars towards promoting that video. Because Patrick made a really good video for the publisher. And even though they don't do that anymore, I still think it carries on. Probably if you were to search for how to play Arcana Rising, I bet ours comes up first, and it has a really high click-through rate as a result of that. All right, another short. Pokemon Halloween Trick-or-Trade Booster Bundle. I buy these. I buy these to give away at Halloween. I just leave buckets of them out in front of my house, these Pokemon cards. I just think people might be interested in what they are. I put a video out last year when I did this, so I decided to do another one this year. It's nothing special. It's a minute long, gets a few views, but it's interesting. This is an old video. How old is this one? Mansions of Madness. Oh, 2021. Not as old as I thought. So that's Patrick made this video talking about the price point for all this stuff, and that has been pretty popular. Then we have Empire's End. We got another unboxing here. This is the deluxe edition. This was, this came from the crowdfunding campaign. I think there was a lot of interest in what is this game and what's in it, what's in the deluxe edition. Did I get that? Yeah, I did get the crowdfunded version. All right. And then Rapido. So this is a game that I actually imported from Spain, I think. I imported it from Europe, certainly. I think the publisher is Spanish of this version, but it's just a retheming of Escape because the rules are still the same. So I'm pretty sure it's Kinesia, a dice checking game. My kids like it. So anyway, I did an unboxing, and because it's so simple, I did the how to play in it as well. Although I made one small error that somebody mentioned in the comments that I forgot to mention something. Not really a deal breaker or anything. Overview of Pilgrim by Amusement. So this was nice. I actually got a copy, pre-production copy. Is this the Yeah, I did get a pre-production copy of this game from the publisher. He had one doing a tour of the US. So I got it and filmed this. How do you basically play the game? I say overview because I don't really make full rules videos unless it's something simple like Battleship. But just to give you an idea, like this is how the game is played. So whether you like it or not. Overview of Pilgrim. I also backed it on GameFound. So I got the actual production version and did an unboxing of that. Not quite as high as this though. That game is, I don't know if that game's ever going to get reprinted. So that was a one and done on the publishing. It's a good game though. I check out the video, and if you like it, see if you can hunt down a copy. Not a lot of copies probably made it to the United States, although I think I sold one at a charity auction, and then I maybe gave my other one away. So there's some floating out there. More versus videos. We got Marvel going on here. Force Science, How to Play. Again, that one might have been promoted once upon a time by Gray Fox, although not in this past year. And I'll probably call it here. So I did a rare games series, which is just games that are, not very common. They didn't do very well on the channel. I have other things in here that I would like to do. I mean, like I had the Tesla edition of Steampunk Rally. I think I did that one. I had a Star Wars game that I had to import from France. This game I imported from Korea, right? It's just point salad rethemed as a Pokemon. So every card is some version of Eevee. But I've got other stuff up here like Full Metal Planet and Carrier Strike. I'd like to do some more rare games videos, but they're not high on the list because they don't get, most of them don't get a ton of views. This is the one, obviously, that did the best in the last year. So there you go. If you look at the chart for our views, you can see they spike, right? Some short will hit like that. There's the Gator one had 2876 views in one day, and it's just had like 3,000 or so in its lifetime, right? And then this one was interesting. There's the Crocodile one had a bump and then back to nothing, and then a slight bump, and then some more, and then back down to nothing, right? So, but you see on an average day, we're not getting a ton. If you look by watch time hours, it's a little more interesting, right? So you'll see something like, oh yeah, look, our Tiny Epic Vikings review dropped, and it got a bunch of hours of time viewed just that one day. Actually, if you look at the totals are sort of interesting. You can see, right? So we don't, we're looking at 25 hours viewed that day, 25 that day, but most days, we're floating around maybe around the 12, 13 hour mark. Whatever, you divide that by 365 and see what the average is. And views, if we do this by views, total views, you're getting just a few hundred views most days. So yeah, there you go. So these are, what our stats look like for in YouTube, right? So I sort of look at these things. I can go and look and see, we go, right? You can go to analytics. This one's always interesting. You can look and see, hey, look, in the last 48 hours, we've had 448 views in the last 2 days. All right, that's cool. And you see, what are people watching? All right, here's what they're watching. Hey, look, the Ready Set Bet app is getting a bunch of views all of a sudden. Maybe people got it for Christmas. I always see a big bump for Battleship, like it was getting 100 views a day right after Christmas. I guess people get a copy of Battleship for Christmas or something. Now you can also look at the last 60 minutes. Like, what have people looked at in the last 60 minutes? Yeah, there you go. Hey, look at that. Somebody was looking at the Pilgrim overview I was just talking about. It said 5 views in the last couple of days. Interesting. Mostly you see newer stuff here, and then just videos like that I sort of say are evergreens, particularly Horrified and Battleship, are always up here. And then you'll see other videos that'll get a bunch of views and then they'll just taper off. This one's new, right? So you can see when these were published. Thunder Road Vendetta. I just got to play that for the first time the other day with my kids. All right. All right. So yeah, there you go. That's what YouTube analytics look like for Just Got Played for 2023. So let me cut here and then I'll come back and tell you about some board games that I got to play and didn't get to play in 2023. All right, well, let's close 2023 out by talking about some actual board games. I played a bunch of games this year, a bunch of games from 2023. There are a lot that I didn't get to that I wanted to play, despite going to 2 board game conventions this year. But I will say it was easy for me. The number one game for me, that was published in 2023. And I think this would probably bubble up to the top if we surveyed the entire crew for what is our favorite game of the year. And that is Thunder Road Vendetta. So I played this first, I think, at Dice Tower Convention. I played it again. I got a copy to play with my kids. Ended up under the tree for Christmas. And then, we've opened it up and played it since then. My son, one of my sons destroyed us. He absolutely loved that. So yeah, I don't know. Why does this game work? I don't know. This is just the restoration games magic, I guess, because it sounds stupid, roll dice, move cars, shoot each other, whatever, but it's still fun. Now, I will say there is a person in my household who plays games with us and she just hates conflict, right? So she did not like this game. My wife did, my 2 younger sons did, and so I'm not going to run out and buy the 5th player, the expansion, the big rig and whatever Final 5 that gives me the 5th player because there's somebody in my house who's not going to play it with us. But I will stick with the 4-player option in the box. I'll probably get maybe Carnage at Devil's Run, I think, because it has some extra hazards like ramps and some stuff. I don't really care about the asymmetric powers and all those other stuff from the expansions. I don't need to complicate this game. It's just, roll some dice and blow some cars up. And that is, it sounds kind of dumb, but, just play it. If you get a chance to play it, watch a playthrough, see if you like it. Not a terribly expensive game, but has a pretty good production value, and the box isn't huge. I have the retail version, right? I don't have the Maximum Carnage expensive big box version, which for me personally, that's over the top. Not what a game like this needs, but I understand why people get that. But I absolutely 100% can recommend this to anybody. Normally I say I'll recommend this to anybody who likes blah, but really, as long as you don't mind conflict in games, I even know people who don't like randomness, right? They don't like dice chucking whatever games, and they still have fun playing this. I don't know, maybe because it's so short and it's just silly. So anyway, there you go. Number one for me, and like I said, would probably be number one for the channel if actually surveyed the whole channel for 2023 Thunder Road Vendetta. And second place was actually pretty easy for me to choose as well. So we have First in Flight. So First in Flight was a crowdfunded game, as was Thunder Road Vendetta. But First in Flight was crowdfunded, and I passed on it because I just, trying to not crowdfund things so much anymore. But then it came out. I saw some reviews. One of my friends locally here in town told me about it, played it, said she thought it was fantastic. I was like, all right. And then it showed up in a sale, maybe one of these Amazon sales. Yeah, I think I got this from Amazon, relatively cheap in one of their Prime sales, because I have Amazon Prime, right? Anyway, the reason though that I got it more than anything is it says it right here. It's push your luck, right? So the theme is early aviation. So I love that. And I knew my wife would like that. And I thought my kids would be interested as well. But also my kids, if I had to guess, I would say that's their favorite game mechanism is push your luck. Quacks of Quedlinburg, is one of their favorite games. They like Ink and Gold. There's plenty of push your luck games that we play, and they really like that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get this. And I'll take a flyer. I'll take a flyer on a game just because I know I can move it, right? I know I can trade it. I can gift it, whatever. So it's not that big of a deal if I get a game in and my family doesn't like it, but they did like this one. You're going around in a time track mechanism, which I really like. Time track mechanism, deciding how far do you want to jump ahead to get the thing, to make sure that you get it, etc. And you got these tech cards that you can get, and you're adding new cards to your deck. And anytime you decide I'm going to do a flight, you play out the cards in your deck and you decide when to stop and finish your flight. And that's, you're just trying to make a really long flight. The first person to have a certain length flight and win the game, basically. That triggers the end of the game, really, and then everybody gets to fly, and then you see who went the furthest. Is actually how it ends. But yeah. So anyway, it's great. You got this deck building thing going on, and I don't even like deck building that much, but in this one, because it's not like just draw some from your deck and deal with those, and then they'll come up later. It's just push your luck, keep drawing from your deck until you want to stop. So I like that combination of push your luck and deck building. So yeah, there you go. Those are the two games that are my favorite games from the year that I can highly recommend. I will say that I played a lot of other games that could have been a giant tie for third between like 5 or 6 games. Games that I rated a 6.5 or lower. These were the only two games I rated higher than 6.5 so far that were published in 2023. But I will say, if I had to guess which one would maybe be third, so I'll just give an honorable mention here to Imperial Miners. And one of the reasons I'm not giving it, saying it's definitely third is because I played it one time. I played it with the publisher at Dice Tower Con. First play for everybody, almost more like a demo game. I guess we did play through a full game. But anyway, it has this interesting sort of engine building thing going on, which is it's sort of a different take on stuff. Is you build this mine, and then when you add a card, it triggers all the things above the card that you added, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I didn't buy a copy of it, or I haven't got a copy of it yet anyway, but I would like to play it more. So Imperial Miners, I checked this one out. If any of that sort of engine building stuff that I was talking about sounds interesting to you, if you like engine building, this is an interesting take on it. So it's worth checking out. Plus, I like Portal games. I like Ignacy Trevicek, who taught it to us at Dice Tower Con. It's always fun playing a game. He wasn't playing, he was just teaching, but it's always fun interacting with him, playing one of his games. So that, I never know if I like a game just a little bit more because I played it there with Ignacy. So yeah, so I'm just sort of without playing it more, I can't really, give it necessarily a recommendation, but if I had to guess, it's probably my third place of the ones that I was playing. Anyway. All right. So that's 3 games. Anyway, new games that I actually got to play. Let's talk about some games that I did not get to play. So, and I don't know a ton about them because I didn't get to play them, but Moon. All right. So Moon is sort of a third in this series, I guess. There's nothing really about this series other than, the publisher, the designer, and the box, the weird box that they have. Otherwise, I don't think there's any thematic ties between them. Although they are one is sort of like older historical setting, one is a modern setting, and this one is a futuristic setting. So maybe there's a thing going on there. I don't know if that was on purpose. But anyway, in Moon, you're, you're building a moon base, right? You're building a lunar base. And, you've got closed drafting here, hand management, worker placement. So a lot of interesting stuff. And I really liked Villagers, the first game in this series. I did not like Streets, though. So I had backed Villagers, and I got all the expansion stuff for Villagers. I backed Streets, and then I got Streets, and I was sort of disappointed by it. Like, it sounded cool, but then when you actually sat down to play it, it was just sort of too fiddly, I guess, to be enjoyable for what it was. So I sat on the fence. I jumped off the fence, I guess. I was on the fence, and then I jumped off for Moon based on my experience with Streets. But, then I hear reviewers talking about it, saying it's great. I'm like, okay, cool. I would like to play that. And then I think there was even a crowdfunding campaign for a second printing of it. But, like I said, I'm trying to stay away from crowdfunding, particularly when it's on Kickstarter, which I think this one was. But yeah, I would like to play it. And if I like it, I'd like to get it to go on my shelf to stack there with Villagers too, because the weird, awkward box. But based on other people saying it's good, I would really, it has sort of moved it up on the list of games I would like to play from 2023. So hopefully I'll get to that one. Next is Stationfall, and I don't even know why. I'm really interested in Stationfall. Maybe the 1 to 9 players, 90 to 120 minutes, like that really fits in where I think I would like something. Although this wait in this time period for that number of players seems a little bit out of whack to me. So I don't, either that's wrong or this is wrong. I don't know, but it's just like, read it here, right? It's a box full of creative solution, but that box is going to morph, twist, and grow teeth. Your best turns will exploit tactical freedom, secret conspiracy. So there's deductions, social deduction. I think, there's, I don't know if you can, it's always just one player who wins or just a group of players can win or whatever, but it just seems like one of these messy who's doing what, maybe a bit like Among Us, maybe a bit like Battlestar Galactica. Like, I don't know. It just sounds like a fun hidden role deduction science fiction based game. A lot of people make fun of this cover because this the face of this chimp here, and looking at it a little closer, I guess I sort of agree that's not great. But I'm still pretty interested in playing the game. I don't know how I'm ever going to get this game played. If it's really that heavy and really needs, how many players was it recommended at? What does the community say? This is a handy little tool here. I mean, not a ton of votes, but it does tell you something. Not recommended at 7, 8, 9. That's not great by a lot of people. There's a little bit of recommended here. Some people actually are saying best at 9. That's interesting. I probably would play it more like in the 6 range. It's interesting that 4 and 5 is the best though. Huh. Weird. Anyway, Stationfall. Interested in that one for sure. And this one is almost like a reprint, right? Because it's a re-implementation of Quo Vadis, an old Reiner Knizia game. So this is Zoo Vadis. And so I saw this one, and I just sort of okay, well, maybe that's interesting. I don't know. And just sort of ignored it. And then I saw, I think it was Shut Up and Sit Down's review of it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that does sound good. And they spoke very highly of it. So go check out that review if you're interested in learning more about the game. But I like these negotiation games, right? This says political and negotiation. So I don't know what's the difference between political and negotiation. But I guess the idea is you're negotiating instead of just like get money or trade goods or whatever, et cetera. You're negotiating for political influence, I guess, maybe. But, you're trying to get your animals up and along the thing and to the end to score some points or whatever. So how are you going to do that? And you can trade and do whatever, right? And there's hidden victory points, negotiation, bribery, whatever. And you talk about a negotiation game like that and you think, well, it could just be bad, right? I mean, that could just be dumb. Sometimes there's too much going on for you to be able to negotiate the way that you want. Sometimes there's too much freedom, so the game is just a mess. But this is a Knizia game, and it's a classic, right? When did Quo Vadis come out? 1992, right? So, we're talking about a game here that's got some legs, and a new version of it. Not so big on the anthropomorphic animals or whatever, but that wouldn't get in my way for enjoyment of the game either. So yeah, anyway, there's a lot of games that I am actually interested in playing in 2023. And in fact, I guess I have an honorable mention. Let's pull it up here. And this is an honorable mention for 2023 because I had this on pre-order. I had it on pre-order from Game Nerds, and I showed my kids a video about it. And I was like, hey, you know, they play Ticket to Ride, right? They played Ticket to Ride First Journey, and then they graduated to regular Ticket to Ride. And I was like, hey, would you guys be interested in playing this? And I don't know if they really quite know what a legacy game is, but they know what a campaign game is. We definitely played some campaign games. So you know, I showed it to them, and they were like, no. I'm like, all right, well, I've learned my lesson with legacy games. I'm not going to play a legacy game unless the people who live in my house are the ones playing it with me, because it's just too much work and too much time goes by in between to get a group together to play a legacy game. So I canceled my pre-order. As much as it pains me to say, I really want to play Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the West, but I don't know, maybe in a few years my kids will change their mind, and I'm sure I can get a printing of it then, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. But this is an honorable mention because I really want to play this one, but it isn't going to happen, at least not anytime soon. So yeah, there you go. All right, so what did we cover? I did the YouTube stats, I did my favorite games, I did games from 2023 I wish I had played. Why don't you go tell me? Actually, there's two places you can tell me. You can do the YouTube comment thing because, you know, I showed you the YouTube analytics, right? It cares about comments and it gives us more impressions if a video has comments, right? So you can help us out with that. But I am generally interested to hear what what is your favorite game, or what are some of your favorite games that were published in 2023, and which ones are you interested in playing that you haven't played yet? And even if you had some stinkers, some ones that disappointed you, you can tell me that too. So you can leave those in the YouTube comments, or if you just look in the description of the video, we have a Discord channel, and we do a lot of discussion of board games there, right? So if you want to come over there and talk to us, we'd be glad to talk to you about board games. Anyway, but until the next time, I'm Steven. Have a happy 2024 and see you around. Thanks. Bye.